And we're live.
Woo! Friday. Let's hear
We,
it.
yeah, we did it. Sorry again, folks. Well, thanks first and foremost for everybody for tuning in. But once again, we've made it to the second week in a row where we are missing our intro sequence. And Aaron tried to cut it out of a previous stream that we did and got to about 98% right before we're starting the stream. So next week we will
Yeah,
be back to normal. But that doesn't mean that this stream isn't going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you for tuning in. Aaron, do you have any
absolutely.
thoughts? What are we getting into today?
Yeah, this is actually this. It's funny Justin says this because this was totally his idea. So we
Yeah.
he had this rustic beam light fixture that we thought that's pretty cool. I mean, it's one of these models that looks deceptively simple up front, and then I'm like, oh, it's got a chain, and it's got wire, and it's got glass, and it's got
Yeah.
metal. Like it's got all these materials. It's got organic, and it's got very uh, industrial parts. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, before we hop in, like let's all say hi. My name's Aaron, and I'm calling in from Longmont, Colorado. You guys do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's everybody tuning in from? I'm Justin, tuning in from Denver, Colorado, just a stone's
Welcome,
throw away
Justin.
from Aaron. But yeah, while we wait for the responses to roll in, yes, just to piggyback off what Aaron was saying, we have a meeting every couple of weeks internally where we talk about ideas for what we want to stream, and that's usually when we turn to the forum for ideas, comments that you guys leave on these videos. And this rustic beam light was something that I think I saw in a coffee shop and I was such a fan of. And from a modeling standpoint, I think it's really interesting. There's a chain that holds it up. There is light that's wrapped around the whole beam. So for a follow me type thing, this is about as good of an exercise as you could probably get.
I think so. I mean, it's got it all. Because I remember looking at it going, yeah, we can bottle that. And then in my head, I was like, man, this is gonna take like half an hour. Which, of course, as soon as I think that is when I know I'm in serious trouble. But then I went back and looked at the image. I'm like, no, we got some stuff. We got some stuff to cover here. I'm not even sure how we're gonna do some of this, but that's part of the fun of this whole thing.
Yeah, we'll have to
Uh,
figure out whether or not we draw the line at modeling the light bulb. But should we get into
hmm,
it? What
maybe
do you
we'll start with
think?
the light bulb, just to really tempt fate.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
to
do this. Let's
spend
hop in.
to spend the first 45 minutes just working on the light bulb. Let's just like get lost in that wormhole.
Absolutely. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this all in SketchUp Pro. I'm using the most recent version, 2025. And I'm going to start by just dropping in this image. Just gonna double click to drop it on the ground. And this is the thing that we are looking at. All right. So
Nice.
that's what we want to do. So there's some simple stuff here, right? This wood beam is an extruded rectangle. Piece of cake. Um, I'm gonna play around a little bit when we get up to the top and the detail and that kind of stuff. We got some chain links. It looks like a carabiner right here, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple of eyelet screw kind of things going up here. Then of course we got each of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights comes up off the cable and then wraps around the beam a couple times before I assume connecting together or something on top of the beam. And then each light bulb is made up. I mean, really, this won't be too painful. This is a follow me with a couple materials and then maybe a little lighting element on the inside. So
Yeah.
nothing terrible there, but yeah, this is gonna be a cool one. This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I think this is entirely in your wheelhouse, and I think it really comes down to the texture that you choose for the beam. That's going to be crucial.
For sure. And I think this is one of the fun things that I'm really enjoying about 2025. And soon enough, we'll have enough new viewers that they don't know how many years and years I just avoided materials altogether. Like every one of our models was just white, and it was an exploration of space. Now we're actually getting into a lot more design with color and materials, that kind of thing. Yeah, these new PBR materials are just so nice to be able to go in and model with. So yeah,
Absolutely.
let's hop in. Let's do this thing. All right. I'm going to start with obviously the beam. So I'm just going to do a rectangle. I'm not going to try to match space. I'm not going to bring this in and do any kind of a match photo or anything like that. So I'm going to just grab a rectangle here. I'm going to stretch it back and
A nice 23 feet you've done.
that's a little big. You're right.
Yeah,
We're going to bring this back in a little.
yeah, it's a big light.
Yeah, so I'm not doing this to scale or anything like that. We're just going to kind of eyeball it. There's no point in that, I don't think. But okay, so something like that is about what we're looking for. So before I go any further, I'm going to go to File and hit Save. Nobody expected that, did you?
I don't think they did. Yeah, so we have a bunch of people saying hello, a bunch of people saying happy Friday, and a couple people chiming in from where they're at. So we got some folks joining us from Vancouver, Canada, from Massachusetts, from Wales, UK, and also Norfolk, UK. So welcome, everybody. It's great that you're joining us today. I'm so glad that you're spending your Friday with us. This is a great way to kick off what should be a good weekend.
Yeah.
Nice sunny weekend, hopefully across the world.
Yeah. I'm excited because it's been in the 90s over here, and tomorrow it's supposed to be like 10 degrees cooler than it has been all week. So I'm looking forward to that. That's exciting for me. All right, so we got this beam. Let's get some wood texture on here. So there was about 30 seconds where I considered maybe I will take this texture and project it, but with all the cables lapping over and everything, it'd be a lot of work and it wouldn't look good. So I scratched that idea and I figured we'll just use 3D Warehouse to grab material off there that looks, what we're really looking for is kind of this texture, which is, I would say it's, well, I would imagine, being that they sell these in bulk, this is probably a laminate or something like that. But what we're going to look for is just this nice wood grain is all we're really concerned about. Color, we can shift that. We can match the color later. But I just want to get a PBR material of this nice tight wood grain. No knots or anything. It's just a good looking piece of wood. Just a good looking piece of wood.
Just a good looking piece of wood. Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to head into 3D Warehouse, which of course is popping up on my other screen because that's how we do it. All right, and I'm going to go up to my menu. I'm going to go straight to SketchUp Libraries and pick on materials. Actually, let's go through rather than going here. This is just going to give me all 583. But if I go through my collections for materials, that's going to actually give me sub-collections of materials, a little bit quicker to navigate. If I pull up that 581 or whatever, then I'm just scrolling through there trying to look for it. If I knew the name of the material I was looking for, I could do that. But this is going to give me access to 70 wood patterns by just going into the collection. So just a little easier. All right, so as we buzz down here, we do start with a bunch of veneers, which may work just fine. It's got a little bit of texture. It's got that grain look to it. As I come down here, eventually I'll get out of veneers and we'll get into like some planks. Probably not the look I'm going for, but that would give me more of a, little deeper wood grain, less shine, that kind of thing. Logs, and now we're into wood flooring. Flooring again could also work. I'd probably lean towards floor over laminate for this because it'd give me more of a wood look, but it's gonna be highly polished, that kind of stuff. And then we get into some stuff like bark and plywood, and we've gone too far at this point. So I think I'm going to back up. I'm going to take a look at this wood flooring right here. That might be a little too small. If I look at this, what I was thinking is if I can blow it up so that one wood plank fills the side, then I'll have a nice texture in a single section, but I don't really like this very much, so I'm not going to do that. So I may actually end up going with one of these veneers. The reason I like the veneer is because it's just what we're looking for. It's just that continuous wood grain. So I'm going to use this one. Download it.
I think that's going to be a lot easier to work with. Keggy says, 2025, Aaron, is living in a material world at last. Your progress is noted, Aaron. Good job.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for seeing me. I appreciate that. Nobody has called out that how good I'm doing at saving yet, but that's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah,
That's all right.
that'll be
Um,
2026.
so when you come back from 3D Warehouse, the material you've picked is in your paint bucket. So I can just immediately start clicking to paint it on there. And then that has now become, if I go grab over here, that's now one of the materials in my model. So awesome. So there we go. Yeah, that looks,
Spot on.
I don't want to say we nailed it in one try, but
There's
I'll
no
let you.
nails in this design, Aaron.
All right, I'm just going to make it a group, and there we go. So that's its own piece. I'm thinking probably because of my experience with designing buildings, I kind of like to work top down. I can't start dangling stuff off of this until I know that it's supported above. So we're going to start with we'll put some, like I said, some eyelet screws or eye hole screws up here. Looks like 4 of them, and then. Because if I look down here, this is what makes me think there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
It looks like there's something right there, and then it splits. These are all carabiners. So I'm thinking there's 2 of these with a carabiner each coming up to this carabiner, and then that carabiner connects up to a chain. So we're going to model that real quick. I think this should be pretty simple. What I'm going to do is, here's my thought process. I think what we'll do is we'll get this eyelet screw in here, and I'm not going to model the screw threads or anything like that. We're just going to get the part that shows up over top. That's a level of detail thing that to each their own kind of situation, but I don't want to spend a bunch of time modeling stuff that's just going to be buried inside the wood. So I'm just going to do the eyelet part. I think what I'll do is I will model this chain and these carabiners, everything going straight up. That way I can use the normal axes, and then we'll just tip it over and copy it when we get to the right point. So that's my game plan. Will it work? Of course it will work.
Of course it's going to work, yeah.
Of course it's
we have a question. How would you go about making this beam look more rustic? Like, we don't have to, go down that path for this, but would you consider adding a little bit more roughness to the material or the geometry of the beam, or what would you say?
That is a great question. I think when I look at this, like I said, in here this looks pretty polished, and like I said, I'm betting it's a laminate on top of particle board or something like that. But if I did want to do that, there's a couple things I would consider. One is you might have to check on this for me, Justin, but Enerot has a extension. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like make rough or make. It's really degrading. It takes a solid piece like this and just goes in and starts knocking corners off and putting bangs into it. And it's great for stone. Like if you just take a rectangle and you say, really wear this thing down. Eroder. Is that it? Erosion? But it'll go through and just make it look like a chunky stone, and it'll put all these regular surfaces in it. I think I might try hitting it with that first at a real low level, not at a high level, but just let it knock the corners off. Something else you could consider is using something like bevel from Mindsight Studios, the extension, and go in and just knock all the corners off so it's all rounded. You could even do something like this. I could come in here and I could, put in a little shape like that maybe, and kind of push that through so I can get some kind of brokenness in there. That's the kind of stuff.
You were totally right. Actually, there is an extension that does this, and this is so cool because I'm always wondering how you do this quickly. But yeah, it's called Fractal Terrain Eroder by Eneroth. And I just linked to it.
There you go. So yeah, I would check that out if that's something you do regularly, or want that level of detail on there. It's great. It is really cool. We've done a video. I did a video on it years and years ago. Maybe we'll do another one coming out of this. Remember that for our next meeting for content. And it's just a cool, simple extension. And like I said, for rocks, it's really cool because rocks are all these irregular shapes. So rather than downloading something, you could actually get something about the right shape and size. And then, yeah. So check that out. All right. Over here, as we have been talking, I drew a lollipop. I drew a line with a circle at the top, cut portion of it out, and then I just kind of just drew a couple segments to kind of continue this around. This is kind of what my screw piece is going to look like. I'm going to grab all of it, right click, and weld it. That way we have one curve. And then I'll come down here at the bottom and put in a circle. I don't know. I'm going to experiment with this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. So what I want to do, I did draw this right on the corner of the edge of the beam. It doesn't have to. It's just to make sure it was part of the model. So there we go. I got that. So I got my continuous path right here. I'm going to say follow me with this circle. And there we go. That's pretty good for guessing all the shapes and sizes. Almost like he's done that before.
That's good. Now you got to put a nice reflective metal on it.
That's right. That is absolutely right. So I'm going to take it. Before I screw it up, I'm just going to make it into a component. Not that I plan to screw it up, but well, that's the reason I didn't plan it. We'll see what happens. Put this over here, slide it over. I think we're going to scale it down a little bit. It's kind of big. The other thing, so what I could do here is I could take this and I could drop it down so it goes into the wood like this. That's kind of how I need to get smaller, but that's how it's going to look. Which is okay, but there's really no need, there's no reason to have this overlap. So what I could really probably do is just grab this face, shorten it up like that, and then take that whole group and just drop it straight down like that. So if I am concerned, if I look at this in monochrome or something like that, I'll still have my edge right here, but I don't have to worry about intersecting or cutting the beam or anything. So it still looks like it's going into it, but a little bit easier to deal with.
That's clean modeling 101, folks.
That's right.
That is, yeah.
Don't model it if you don't need it.
Yep, that's right.
Which sounds like a duh, right? But I guarantee, and I don't know if anybody's going to fess up to this in the comments, but I guarantee there's a handful of people in here who are waiting for me to start modeling screw threads. Let's see if you're honest. Let's see. I want to see if anybody goes, yep, I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen.
I kind of want to see you do it, honestly, but
well,
maybe that's another screw.
we've done it before, and again, level of detail modeling. How much detail do you need? How often do you need a model where you actually see and count the threads? So if you're doing a technical model or machining or something like that, it makes sense to do that. But for most models, that's a lot of extra detail and it adds a lot of weight to your model because of all those segments and all those faces. So I would say probably, 9 out of 10 times, but probably closer to like 99 out of 100 times, I won't even mess with that. The content where we have put that in, those details in, has really been standalone content to show how to draw that thing, not part of a bigger piece. So,
yeah, I feel like doing the screw threads is like the #1 way to get excess geometry into your model. Like, let's not do that. And also, we have already Bill saying in the comments a strong no. So let's keep it moving.
That's right. Don't do it. And honestly, if I'll just this is my last thought on it. If you have a situation where you're doing that, maybe you're doing an exploded detail view or something, and you want that thread screw. That is where 3D Warehouse is awesome, because the amount of time to draw the proper whirl and do the right extrude without the face turning and all that stuff, just go grab a screw off 3D Warehouse. You might have to go through 2 or 3 before you find the right one, but yeah, just simplify your life. All right, I'm gonna hop in here real quick. I'm gonna grab this metal color. I'm gonna just apply it to the whole thing.
Nice.
Actually, maybe that was like
metal.
Yeah, I don't like that after all. Like let's try the silver. Oops. That's a little shiny. What is this like? A diamond plate?
Yeah, I think it's all the faces of the geometry there, and it's painting on every single face. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at that shine. All right, there we go. That's better.
Aaron, don't stare too closely and too longly at that.
All right, so I'm going to grab that little eyelet we just created, and I'm just going to say, okay, make a copy of it. at the middle here. It's gonna give me 2, and I'll grab both of these, and again, copy, option, go find the middle here. Oh, there it is.
Nice.
All right, so we got 4.
Yeah, that
All right,
flip
we're
tool,
rolling along.
that's helpful.
All right, so I may be at a different scale than this already, so I may actually make some adjustments here. So what I'm thinking. So one of the things, let me think out loud for a second. One of the issues that would come up with when dealing with things like chains is a lot of times like where we want to reference pieces to isn't necessarily where we need them to be. So if I look at this and I want to like snap to a point here, I turn on my hidden geometry, like if I'm drawing a line from a portion of this chain, where does it go from, you know? So am I going to have a piece that goes straight up? I got to figure out where I want my chain links to align to. And sometimes that can be difficult with this kind of geometry where, you know, I have all these points and I don't have a simple single point. So one thing I might do here is, again, this is a component. So I might come under here and find like the middle point, which I think is right there, and then just drag that line down a little bit. And that's going to give me, even if I turn this all off, that's going to give me a point to snap to as I try to figure out where's my chain going to go. So if I grab, say, the middle point there, and I bring it up like this, and then I'm going to bring this over like, don't worry, I'm going somewhere here. Just envision with me. Right, so if I had something like that, and then something like that.
This is a better way to do it. I was just going to draw like the carabiner separately and then just like move it into place, and it would have been chaos.
It would have worked. So yeah, something like that is kind of what I'm looking for. So I want to have my geometry, or my geometry is aligned to like that line, whatever that is. So I'm just going to triple click and make that a temporary group. That way I can draw on top of it. But like you said, Justin, yeah, I think what's going to make sense is to just draw my carabiner. So I'm going to start with a rectangle and make my rectangle about that big-ish, exactly.
Ish.
Precisely-ish. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a circle right at the middle. And I like, this is my preferred method for creating this shape. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to move this, a copy of it to here. Grab this, move a copy of it to here. And then we'll just erase the rest of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then we got the start of our carabiner. I'm going to grab this and make it a component. I have no idea how to spell carabiner. It's a word I know. I live in Colorado, so these things are everywhere. I have no idea how to spell it. Is it B-E-A?
Yeah, Carabiner.
Biner. Okay, that looks right, but I would not have gone there. All right.
Well, to be fair, the other day when I told you that I was doing a little bit of climbing up in the mountains, and you were thinking about, well, I'm never going to use rope ever, and carabiners, no way. You looked at me and didn't discuss, so it makes sense that you don't know how to.
No, that's not. That's okay. I mean, hey, we all got our thing, right? And some of us are more mentally unhinged than others, and that's cool.
Yeah, some people like modeling screw threads,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a guy go live and model a cobra. I mean, come on. Silliness. Okay, so yeah, I think something like that's gonna work. I may have to even go a little bit bigger though. I think the screws, or maybe I'm end up moving the screws closer together. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so about that size is gonna work. So now here's the thing: when you do a follow me, we want to make sure that the shape that we're using for follow me, so it doesn't get distorted, starts off perpendicular to a section of the path. So this is our path, is the outside of this. I don't actually need this surface, all I need is that. So when I do create a circle, then I want to put it on this line, and I want to stay flat to the axes that I'm working in. So in this case, that's going to be on the red. And I'm just going to pull this out like I did before. I'm just going to eyeball it so it's a little bit bigger than this, like that. Okay. And I'll grab this. Again, weld it. Welding it first prevents broken pieces in the final geometry. Then I can say follow me and click the circle. All right. That looks big. That looks really big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. This will be two parts. I'm gonna scale this up by the middle to make this larger. And I'll grab this. Nope, not that one. Follow me. All right, that looks close. That looks like a better shape.
It also kind of looks like you're modeling the chain there. I wonder, with the carabiner, you usually have like a little thicker part that, screws onto the end.
Yeah, so if I look right here, it looks like they have a little screw section. So what I was thinking, and obviously Justin has established himself as the expert on all things climbing, so we'll defer to him. But I was going to say, I was going to get rid of that like that. And then kind of do this. And then grab me a polygon. Pull that out about like that.
There you go. Ooh.
Oops, I deleted too much. I OD'd, I over-deleted. Okay. Don't worry, everybody relax. Relax. Okay. I'm going to grab this right here. Option copy it from the corner. Oh, 3D mouse looking inside of stuff. It's so cool, you guys. All right, like that. Why is that not line up anymore?
Yeah, we have a comment that if only we would have saved that perfect round chain link that you already made, we could have used that in the future. So this is your opportunity here.
All right, nice. Make this unique. And we will call this not Carabiner 1, but Link.
There you go.
All right, let's try that again. So here's what I was just kidding when I did what I did before. That was a joke. What I really want to do is come in here and we'll just draw this right here. I'll pull that up. Oh, it'll still work. Never give up. Never throw anything away. Salvageable. It's all salvageable. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to make this into a group. And then I can see how's going to be the best way to do this. All right, I'll go horizontally like this to line things up with right there. And then I'll grab a middle right here and line that up with middle right here. And then I can just move it along the blue axes.
Perfect.
Like that. And then, of course, we'll just
scale it down a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
And we have... there's a name for this kind of carabiner, right? With the screw part as opposed to the clip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but it doesn't matter. Cool. So let's take that now. I'm going to come in here, grab that same metal color, just apply that to this. Same thing, apply to this.
Clip carabiner versus screw lock carabiner. So even though you don't like climbing, Aaron, there is, quite a bit.
I did okay. Yeah. All right. Now, here's the question. If I was to take this and cut it, and now come into this screw and... Nope, hold up. If I was to paste it in here, right? If I said edit, paste in place, the problem is all of them are going to have... Never mind, it's perfect. Good job. Moving on. No, I forgot I used the mirror command, so it just copied it over. Everything was great. That's exactly what I needed. All right, so...
We have a suggestion for outer shell on the carabiner.
Sure, we could do that. We come in here. And right now, this is loose geometry, so loose geometry. Whew. I promise there's not something in here. There's just not enough of it, apparently. All right, moving on. Okay, so What we could do is take this, we'll have to make this a group first, but then I should be able to, that should be a solid group, and this is a solid group. So I can grab both of these, go to tools, outer shell that thing. All right, there, now we have one solid. Again, not a requirement, but in general, keeping your model clean and healthy is every 3D modeler's obligation, responsibility.
Yeah, you got to keep it healthy.
That's right. All right, so now we're at the point where there's a couple things I want to do. One thing is I'm going to rotate this so that the carabiners don't overlap. So just pull it up just like that. I'm also going to move it vertically. So I'm using that same inference line I put on there. I'm just going to slide it up like that. There we go. Oh, it's looking pretty cool.
Nice.
They're definitely bigger carabiners than I have over here.
We're using it as inspiration.
That's right. But they're awful chonky, so I don't know. I'm having an issue right now. I kind of feel like maybe I just need to go in here and just grab this and just bring it down.
Yeah.
Just a skosh, just so it's not. This is not the hero of the model. This is not. Yeah. People shouldn't be looking at this. This is just literally a support piece.
Yeah, I feel like those carabiners were thick enough that you could probably support a car on that beam.
For real. All right, so we're going to take those, tip them back in a little bit like that. And now we need to get a third carabiner that's going to connect between these two and hold them together. To do that, I'm going to have to take these ones that are here and kind of tip them over. So I'll grab this piece, and I'm going to go just right here by the end. I'm going to tip it in like this a little bit. Enough so that I could take a copy of this. We'll paste it. And I got this all off axis now. So there's an extension out there that normalizes stuff like this when it falls off axis. This happens to me all the time. And it's not because I don't know what I'm doing or anything like that. It's just a thing that happens sometimes, especially when you start moving stuff around organically like this. We're kind of just sculpting, right? We're just grabbing pieces and moving around in 3D space. And that's cool. That's not a problem. So when you get something like this, this is rotated on all three axes. How do you get this back? So here's how I go about it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to rotate on an axis. Doesn't matter which. So I'm going to go on the red axis first. I'm going to grab this line that I want to be down at the red axis. I hit the button to toggle my snap points. There we go. And I'm going to rotate that down until it snaps to the green axis. So that's now on the ground. Now I'm going to do the same thing here, maybe the blue axis. I'm going to turn this till it comes back here. And then one more time on the green axis, grab this. It comes down here. So it should only, no matter how goofed up you get something, if it's in that container and you can snap to those corners, 3 rotations, 1 on each axis, 2 flat, will get you back to this point. And again, that's just me trying to help you guys benefit from the things that I've made so difficult on myself in the past. All right.
Very unhealthy models.
All right. So we'll take this one. Again, I have this and I'm in my move command, and I want to put the center of this thing in line with the center of the beam. So I'm going to hit my modifier key to get to the middle. There we go. I don't know. I have no idea how this is all going to work out, by the way, guys. We are in the winging it portion of the show right now. There we go.
Some model improv.
That's right. How boring would it be if you guys knew what I was doing? Ugh.
Yeah, I always joke with Aaron before these streams because like Aaron tries to be as intentional as possible for like truly not having a plan. Like when you see him dive into something here, it is truly improvised. Like the image that he collects before the stream is the only homework that is done here. So you're watching it live.
I feel like that's fair, right? That's good. All right. Yeah. So there we go. So now we have these toggling together, these 3 pieces. Beautiful. That's going to work. Now, let's go ahead and stick a chain right up here, and then we'll make the whole thing. We'll tilt it all and that kind of stuff. So here we go. This guy's easy to flip back, so I should be able to just say, grab this, go into rotate. Whoop, whoop. I want to save. I don't know what happened. I wandered off. All right, so there we go. Now we got my. I want to. So as I was saying this before, I guess it doesn't really matter which one I use. I can use this. This is fine. And I'll just rotate that back up to straight. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it from about here. Let me see how big this is real quick. If I go, you know what? Numbers are boring. Let's just do this. I'm going to take a copy of it. I'm going to bring it up like this, vertically. I'm going to say vertical. So I just about close. See a little tiny gap right there? That's perfect. Then I'll just take this one and I will rotate it 90 degrees. Boom. Now I can take these two and we'll move a copy of that option and take that up again just till, a little squirrely with the zoom here. Again, constraint to vertical, just till I just get that little teeny tiny gap. And then I can say 10x. Oops, sorry, x10. Oh man.
Whoa.
Yeah, okay, that was a problem with just using keys and numbers and things. All right, let's try that again. It's gonna move. Option. I'm gonna bring it straight up, vertical. There you go. X10. Enter. 10x. What am I doing here?
I think you want to do the little asterisks instead of X.
Oh, I'm toggling X-ray. Oh, that's my thing for today. All right, we'll go there. 10 asterisk or asterisk 10?
I usually use, like, on a Mac, Command 8. Little asterisk.
There we go.
There you go. Nice.
All right, so I went long intentionally. This is more than we'll need for the either piece, but I do want to grab all of it. I'm going to make it into a group and I'm going to scale it. I'm going to hit S. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I don't want these carabiners should be fairly big, right? So something like that. That's going to work beautifully. Let's bring that over here. Okay, so we need to turn it 90 degrees. So I'm just going to use my rotate command, or actually I can use my move command too, because that'll let me just gotta go to the top and look at it from above. That'll let me just take that, rotate it 90 degrees, boom, like that. And then we'll go vertically. We'll go horizontally.
Ty says those are some pretty big links. But that might be, before you scaled them down. And because you've made them a component, it's going to be easy to apply that metal texture.
That's right. I was actually just thinking about that. I'm going to get it centered with the middle again, just like I did with the other piece. There we go. And now I think what we could do is maybe come in here, rotate these. Ooh, maybe there's not enough chain links. I thought we were like overboard here, but all right, let's go back in here. Let's do this now before I forget. I'm gonna hit bucket, grab this, boom, all of them. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna grab 1, 2 of them, and I want to do a relative copy to make copies of this going up, but I want to make sure they're the same spaces as I had before. So I'm going to turn on X-ray. And I'm going to say grab this one right here, and I'm going to copy it to, should I hit the copy? That one right there. And then we'll just say like 5 asterisk.
That looks
probably just short, probably like 1 link short. All right.
Well, in the photo, cool. It doesn't connect. So, who knows what's happening up there.
I'm already ahead of that. All right, so now I can grab this piece, and I'm just going to mirror a copy. Hit the option, grab my red plane, grab that, drag that over to where the middle is. Boom. All right, so close. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a big, huge carabiner, a monstrous
Yeah.
carabiner, and just connect it all up. All right, no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna leave right there for right now. Looks cool. Looks cool. We'll find out who's ADHD by leaving that there and not connecting it up. See who says something.
Yeah,
No,
speaking of
that's me.
OCD, I feel like the carabiner that's directly tied onto the chain link also kind of needs to be rotated because that would be like, pulling with the tension of the chain.
Ooh, look who's designing this product. I like it.
Trying to be realistic here.
That's what we're going for. Oh, that wasn't a component. Oops. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's make this into a component called a chain.
Nice.
You think that's a little you
I don't think
flip
it
these
would
180
be
degrees?
well, I don't think the upright chain link would be standing upright. I think it would get pulled into
Pull down.
the center a little bit. But
So
I don't want to, this isn't a physics thing. We're making a beam here.
that's right. Well, I'm trying to think like I'm going, okay, so if that was pulling up, these two pieces can't travel beyond this, right? Because they're hitting this.
You might be right.
I think the physics works, but it does look wonky. That is a technical term, wonky.
Yeah, looks good.
What we
Call it
could
good.
do, what would probably make the most sense is to turn our eyelets 90 degrees so that these two pieces are going this way. Yeah, that's way smarter. Hold up. Because this is a component, I only have to do this once. So if I grab this, I don't know why that's not a group already. And then we rotate this 90 degrees like that. Then this piece right here, to get this back to like I was talking about doing before.
Really getting into the weeds here.
Yeah. Perfect modeling. That's exactly to there. Is this necessary? No, but is anything we do necessary here? I mean, really? Can we get away without doing any of this?
We don't even have an intro sequence on this live stream. I mean, come on.
What is going on? Man. Who are these guys? These guys even supposed to be doing this? All right. Take that. Now I'm going to rotate again. I'm going to turn on my lines here so I can rotate off this. Take that up. And then we'll just go up here until they don't overlap. Something like... Oh, it's coming together, folks. It's coming together. Now, I think I can just take this one piece, which is not a component. Son of a gun. All right, but I'll fix that too.
You could
take that.
Copy it into the chain component.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh. And then we can take both of these and then just move it ever so up. Okay, much better. Look at that. All right. I know somewhere out there is already somebody going, should use Clothworks for that. I didn't. I'm going to hit X. I'm going to come into this chain. Let's say edit, paste in place. Boom, that chain's in there. Come over here, get rid of my redundant chain link. We're good.
Yeah. Whenever I set up SketchUp.
Yeah.
Whenever I set up SketchUp on a new computer, paste in place is usually the very first thing that I'll create a shortcut for myself for, because it is probably the feature that I use the most.
I agree. It's probably the one.
Nice. Look at that. It's perfect.
All right. So what are we? We're 45 minutes in, and we got to do some cables and some light bulbs. This thing's done. Chains are fun. I just gotta say this. Chains are fun to model. They are. Especially when they're in tension like this, they're just kind of cool because just a simple shape, an array, right there. I I did see somebody called out. Oh, somebody named Mark. Heard of that guy before. Said this would have been a great spot to put snaps in. Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. So that could have been a great spot to manufacture those pieces with snaps. Then I could just have copied and would have been a quick and easy thing
Yeah. Well,
in the past.
the struggle is what makes the live stream interesting.
That's right. It's all about my pain. All right. So here's what we're going to do now. This right here is painful. This thing right here that we have to model is not. It's very. So each of these is different. I'm not going to model 8 sets of overlapping wires. We're going to do one, so it's going to be a little more uniform than what shows here. I could do it. I'll show you how to do it once, and then we're going to make a copy of them. Actually, I have a way that we could make them different a little bit easier. But what this is going to consist of is each of these there's going to be a path, kind of a coiling path that's going to lap over itself that goes around here. Each of these is going to be kind of a rounded off circle, and they're going to all be connected. And then we'll take the cable shape. I'm just going to go with I think it's round. We're just going to take a round cable and then just do a follow me all the way around, and then have this kind of thing, and then it'll hang down on one end. And then we'll just copy it, and then we'll just adjust the end length of each one. So that's what's going to happen, I should probably say. So we'll start with that, and I'm going to do it on the end here first, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a rectangle. I'm going to copy the end right here, offset that so I can see what I'm working with, like that. Go. Give those extra edges.
We have a lot of feedback on the chain and carabiner situation. Bill says chains are too long, the beam will spin. John Ross says first carabiners need to be rotated slightly. Randy says wouldn't the end carabiners be in line with the links? And you know what, guys, we gotta move on.
Yes, you guys are probably right about everything you said. Good call.
We acknowledge the shortcomings of this model, and we'll learn in the future. But now,
not today.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I have this piece. Let me scale this up about the middle, because I think that not quite, a little bit bigger.
Work. Yeah. Have you ever used like the freehand tool for something like this, where you're just like drawing on a flat plane and just like drawing like a bunch of circles at random?
Yes, one could use that. I haven't for something like this. But yeah, that would be an option too. My biggest problem with the freehand tool, this is not a shortcoming of the tool or anything like that, but I have a hard time drawing straight lines with that for very long. So my lines will end up being like I can't. Okay. So I wanted to keep this where it looks like it's maybe close running parallel. We'll see. I don't know. I'm making this all up again. So
it's a personal issue. It's your hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's me. So I'm gonna option copy that here, and I'm gonna say 3x. There we go. Now, each of these corners is different. They're all a different arc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first one and I'm going to flip it this direction. So now I have 2 different sets of arcs there. This next one I'm going to take and I'm going to flip it this direction. So now again, our 4 corners are different. This last one, I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip both this direction and this direction. So again, now all of our corners, see how they're all different lengths on each of the 4 sides? So now we have that going on. So one thing we could do right now, I could take a circle and just wrap it around these 4 and have these 4 cables that kind of just cross over each other. This is not going to be one continuous piece that loops together, but because of the image here, this is going to give me the most flexibility with making it lap over itself, if that makes sense. So I'm going to run with this, And then if it doesn't work, you have to tell me why it's not going to work beforehand. You don't get to come back afterwards and say, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's cheating. So I'm going to weld these edges and delete the face. Again, weld edges, delete the face, weld edges, delete the face, and one more time, weld edges and delete the face. Now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to draw a circle right here vertically. And so if I look at how far it is, these are all evenly spaced apart. So if I went exactly half of that, they would just about touch. But I want to make sure I go less than half that because I don't want them to overlap right now. So I'm going to come down to like about that big. I'm going to take that exact same circle before I do this. Anything else? Go there, 3x. And now for each of these, I'm just going to grab the path, follow me with the circle. Next one, path, follow me, circle. Next one, path, follow me with a circle. And one more time, path, follow me with the circle. All right, so there, what we got now is a set of round things kind of flowing around that box. I'm going to take each of these. Actually, let me put a color on there first before I go any further. I'm going to take again, I don't like coloring things with black because it doesn't look realistic. So I'm going to pick just a dark gray and color each of these faces. Maybe a little darker than that.
Are you going to group the geometry of each?
Yes.
Nice.
Group. Actually, I should probably make this a component. We're going to make a component, and we're going to call this, what did I do? Make component, and let's call this wire 1. Make component, wire 2. I'm killing it with typing things right. I have not misspelled wire once. Wire 3.
And for the next one, we're going to call it wire 56. Just to
keep you all on your toes.
Yep.
That's right. I had a strong desire to put an N in that word for some reason. So, all right. If I take that now and I bring that down here. There. All right. So we got that look. Now, here's the cool part. I'm going to grab all of this. Oops. Well, one of these looks like it needs to get a little bit bigger. There.
Just a smidge. Don't forget to save.
Killjoys. Okay. I'm kidding. Thank you, guys. I got to get to a view where I'm not snapping as much stuff. I'll say like 1.202.
Cool.
There we go. That's all I needed. All right. So I'm going to take all of these now. I'm going to make them into a group. And I'm going to option move this down to this end and say divide by 7. That's going to give me my 8 sets of wires. Now I can go into each one of these and I can mess with them. So I could take this piece and I could go, okay, I'll put that one down on the end like that. And then this one will come closer like this and maybe even like right up against that one. I can take this one and say, okay, let's scale that to make this pop out just a teeny bit more. There we go. Oops, I left some paths behind. I should probably go in there to each of these components and get rid of that path.
Clean, healthy modeling.
That's right. And because I'm deleting, these are components, I can, there we go. So that's actually in the group. I said that's a component, but it's not actually true. So I can do that with each of these and then just kind of, or I could come in and grab the whole group like this and I could go, okay, flip that like I did before, flip that way. And then this one over here will flip this way.
Yeah,
and this one over here will do both.
That was one of the comments that just came. So, good job. Didn't even have to say it.
I'm going to say great minds. Great minds think alike. So now I just come through a little bit of QCing here. This is not running. This is not the right spot. So I'm going to just maybe scale it out a little bit like that. As we scale, we are, of course, introducing a little bit of distortion to the cable, right? Because that cable's now like kind of stretched or something. And I don't think it's a big enough deal though that I would worry about it. We're not fabricating off of this. Cables in reality do stretch and distort. So, oops, got the whole thing. I only want this one. And because I'm doing things like scaling and distorting on the outside of the component, it's not changing the rest of them. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about, this piece getting, all the other copies getting distorted too. It's just going to be that one. Because it's the outside and not what's inside the container. Opposite of people where it's the inside what matters. This one, scale this. Randomness is one of the toughest things to model, and that's depending on what you're doing. We just did a video on random tools. What a cool extension for adding randomness to things, because this kind of stuff, not painful. It's not always fun to spend time on. All right, so there we go. We got some, so you can see I could take that further. I could keep going. I could keep making more and more randomization, but that looks pretty good for what I need. Again, making that out of a single square with a couple of arcs, I think that looks pretty good for the amount of time we spent.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't do is I did not account for this piece hanging down, and that's okay, because what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to come here. I'm just drawing on this so I have a flat surface to draw on. I'm going to grab an arc and do a fairly tight arc, something like that. I'm going to make that into an edge. And you know what I didn't do is I did not grab a circle to use again. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to go into, I'm going to save that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, now my brain's got to catch up with my mouth. One moment, please. All right, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to View, Face Style, and I'm going to turn on Monochrome. Monochrome is a great way to get in and get away from all those materials or dark faces like that. So now I can see, okay, this is what I want. I just want this circle right here. Come into context. There we go. Command C. All right, now I come out here.
That circle is off axis though. You might have better luck pulling the bottom of the little, yeah, the top one of that.
All right. Control C.
Save you some rotation.
I like it. I'm going to drop that near where I want it to be, or near-ish. See if I can. Right, I was going to grab by an edge and get it up here. Okay. So this was a circle. Now it's a series of segments. When this happens, the easiest way to get the middle point, so you get, there's a couple things I could do. I could grab all these, and first off, I should probably make them visible. They're hidden right now. So I will unsoften, unsmooth, so I get a bunch of edges back. But these are a bunch of edges. I can grab these and I can weld them. It's still going to be a bunch of edges though. I don't have a circle. So there's extensions out there that will take that and put that back into a circle. There's also an extension out there called Find Center, which would find the circle center. For me, what I like to do, this is probably brute force modeling. This is probably not the most elegant thing in the world, but it's pretty quick and easy for me to grab an edge or a point, any point, doesn't really matter, and I bring it across. And the point that is furthest away from this last point is the one that's straight across. So if I come this way, I'm all of this is like a fraction of a 16th of an inch. So this isn't working real well as an example. They're all the same distance away. Let me do this. I still want to make this point, so I'm going to do it. We're going to go into model info, units, and we will turn on decimal.
Yeah, we're getting into the decimals here, folks.
Grab a point. This is 0.9649 away. This one over here is 9, 5, 6, 7. So 9, 5, 6, 7. So this is the point that's halfway or the furthest from the first point. So if I put that like that, then I know grabbing that point right there is grabbing from the very center, and I can align that with my edge. Sorry, we went on a little bit of a thing there, but I like to think that was still worth, it's good info to have.
Definitely.
All right, so now I will grab this line. I can't remember if I welded that or not. Oop, apparently I did, because there's not a weld in here. If all I have is explode curve, that means it's already been welded. I'm going to do a follow me with this. And I'm going to triple click and make that into a group. I don't want to make it a component because I'm going to mess with it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. First off, let's go to view. Let's go get rid of our, not get rid of, let's bring back our beautiful faces.
So nice.
Right, so grab that, pop that on there, boom, like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to rub this in as you were going down your little wormhole there, but Randy said, couldn't you just measure across, get the dimension, and draw a new circle at that size?
That would work too.
Yes, Randy. Yes.
One could. Apparently, I can't. All right. So now we're going to take this, and I want to stick it somewhere that it kind of, I want this end hanging down, but I want this end to kind of disappear into the cable. So my thought was just to kind of grab this and just kind of like that. And there we go. Maybe bring it down a little bit and then over a little bit. I don't know. All right.
Nice.
So I'm going to take that then, and I'm going to go from here, Option, copy that down until it goes disappears in this one, and I'll say 3x. That'll give me those 4. And then I will take this one, and we're going to mirror it, a copy of it, Option, mirror that to here. And then I'll move that to where I want that to be. Like I said, we're doing a lot of sculpting here. We're sliding geometry around, not precision modeling. We're not designing, based off of a CAD drawing or a copied, photo match or dimensions or anything like that. Maybe next week, just to offset this, we'll do some CAD drawings or something like that. Some CAD practice models.
Something super precise.
That's right. And then same thing, I'll grab this, Option, copy that over to about here, and then we'll say 3x. That didn't quite line up right. No big deal. We'll just slide it back in. Slide it back in.
Nice.
All right. So there we go. So we got our 3 cables hanging down. They are all at different lengths. So I made these groups intentionally so I can just grab the end, drag that one down. That one's a little bit longer. Let's see. That one's up higher. This one right here goes longer still. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's hard. I don't care. I'm going to do my thing. Take this one out of there. Again, randomness, which seems to be what this is doing, is gotta commit to randomness.
You're doing a good job. I feel like I might have taken an approach of like taking the bottom circle of these and like duplicating it, creating that as a component so that you can still edit the like group of this as the cable, but then when it comes time to put in the light bulbs, you're just doing it once.
You're right.
Next time.
That would have been a great way to do it.
Nonsense. We have an hour to fill.
That's right. All right. I'm going to copy the circle here. And I think it was Bill was saying to figure out how I could have replaced this with a true circle, since this is just now it's just a bunch of exploded geometry. Here's what I could do. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make it a group. And And then when I put it into a group like this, I wonder if I can just inference off of. So if I come across like that and then come across like that, there's the middle. I can pull that to there. Nice. And then delete that. And now we have a fresh, brand new, delicious circle there to work off of. All right, that's cool. So yes, I think that was Bill. Bill said to do that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Bill.
Bill
Also said, remember, you need to thread the power cable through the chains on the way up.
That's enough from Bill today. Appreciate you stopping by, Bill.
Come on, Bill. Come on. That's just cruel.
You're just trying to get me to drag my feet on these light bulbs, so I don't have time for that, aren't you? All right. So with this light bulb, here's what I am inclined to do. If I come in here and use this as a reference, I'm going to go right about the middle, drag that down to there. I think I will actually use this shape to kind of trace out these two shapes, the metal piece and then also the light bulb piece. So I'm going to come in here with just a regular edge, come across like this. This is straight. And I tend to do this, tend to go like, okay, I'm going to come back and put an arc there in a second. I got this little lip coming out like this, comes back to the same, comes to here, steps in, comes down. I'm imagining this is kind of like a little half circle thing here.
Yeah, I guess this was my bad for picking the most blurry photo of all time. We're tracing pixels here.
Oh, we've been here before. I have no problem making that all up. All right, so then I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to right about there, pull an arc till it gets to tangent. And then same thing here. I'm just going to do an arc on the outside of this to a half. And then I will grab that, slide it back to here. And then maybe even distort this just a little bit to kind of get more of a, yeah, something like that. All right, so that is half of, that's the metal half. I'm going to grab that. Oops, I don't need this little edge right there. Grab that, make it a group. And then separate from that, I have this piece coming like this. Like that. And then actually, it goes like that.
Bill says, off to the pub then.
Kidding, of course.
No.
There we go. Nope, that was not it. So I'm going to go from here. I want to kind of arc out like that. There we go. And then this side's going to come back, arc this way, and then so I can get a better tangent line like that.
Nice.
All right, that's going to work.
This is going to be an epic follow me.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Kind of just blunt the end a little bit there. That looks better. And then I put another little arc right coming out like that. And then I'm just gonna go close it, make it a separate group. All right, so now we got two groups. I'm gonna grab that right there. I'm gonna stick that on my little floating circle here.
Zooming in, zooming out in the abyss.
Holy cow, we're like a mile away. There we go. All right. Because it's a circle, I should be able to drop that to the center. All right, so there we go. So that's going to be the cable coming out of it. That's the thickness. And then I can also use that circle as a way to use for a follow me. So what I can do is I can select this path. That's the circle. I'm going to hit follow me. And this is in a group, but so I can't do follow me with a group. So what I need to do is kind of click in here, right click, say edit group, click the face, that'll do the follow me, and then I can click out. Nice. This one right here, before I do this, actually, I want to come in here, I want to grab, and click everything, but then I'm going to say unselect that, and then weld those edges. And then same thing, I'll grab that circle. I'll say follow me, right click, edit group, click the face, and we got a light bulb. So keeping geometry inside of a group is actually a really cool way to, isolate that geometry, so that now that I come out, look, these two didn't blend together. They're actually two separate pieces. All right, so we have some decorations I want to consider. There's these little divots in here. I'm just going to go ahead and make those. How about that? I'm going to come into this, and I think that's on this ring, right? Yeah, right there. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and to do this, I'm going to turn on my hidden geometry, and I'm going to say there's 24 of those. I don't actually know how many there are, but I'm going to take this face right here. I'm going to offset it like that. Bring that down vertically. Bring this up. I'm going to give that just a little push-pull in, just boop, just like that. And then just get rid of everything else. This is all I need. Everything else is extra. You ever wish you could just do this with life? Just like, I don't want anything else. I just want this one thing.
Just simplify.
That's right. All right, I'm going to take that now. I'm going to go to rotate, go to the middle, say from any one of these points, option rotate to the next, 23x. Gosh, I felt like that should have taken longer. That should have been more work. It's just too easy. Cool. And then this piece right here, this is its own thing right now. I feel like what I want to do is I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to grab the bottom. I'm going to scale that about the middle. And it just has a little bit of that kind of thing right there. It got a little bit of a zoom way in here. It's a little teeny bit of a. So this is me working off of blurry photos for so long. It's just got a little bit of a collar there.
Yeah, those 3 pixels that we were looking at, you can tell.
That's right. The experienced eye can pick that up. Not your normal designer. I'm used to designing off of random Google images. All right, so there we go. So something like that. So I'm going to take that and make that its own group as well. All right, now let's get some. Grab that and color that way, and then grab our metal up here. Color that. I'm color. It just occurred to me. I'm coloring containers now and not geometry. I'm supposed to do that. All right, and then let's get some glass on here. Try this glass.
Nice.
That's all right. That's all right. We're going to change the color of it, though. Come in here, double click on our glass. Metalness is up, roughness is down. That looks beautiful. Let's go to the wheel, and let's get some yellow on here.
Nice, warm, vintage light.
That's right. We'll drop the opacity on it.
Nice.
Oh, now come on. That's okay. So you'd think that was as far as we got to go, right? But check this out. What if we want to get a glowing element inside here? We can't. So SketchUp does do environmental lighting where we bounce light around from this environment behind, and we color based on the location of the sun. So this is brighter than this surface. On the chain, you can see the glow on, or the reflection on there. But we can't make actual light emitting surfaces at this point. So I can't actually make a light up thing. What I can do is I can emulate something like this. I can put something that is bright light and fully reflective inside there and try to emulate the light. I'm talking with authority right now, but this is an idea that I don't know is actually going to work. So with that, I'm going to just come in here. I'm going to make a little rectangle like that. I'm going to make something like that. Bring it over, so that should be about the right scale to go inside. I'm going to go grab a circle just like that. Say grab this, follow me with this, and then I have this. And let's go grab a brand new color. Let's grab a metal color because that'll already be It doesn't matter what I grab because I'm going to mess with it almost immediately.
Yeah, we're gonna crank that
Right.
metalness.
Metalness, roughness. Roughness goes to 0. Metalness goes to 100%. And then we just make it shine as much as possible. Nah, I don't think I'm not going to get enough shine off of that. So I'll have to pull this all the way up to white. Nah, still not lighting up enough. So let's do this. Let's go here. We'll grab just pure white, put that on here. And then this. Nope, it's not. Nope. Undo.
Wouldn't it be
Oopsie.
the last added material?
This one, I think that's the one I just messed with.
Oh.
All right, let's go do this. It doesn't matter what we put on here, actually. So I'm going to put green on here because that should be easy to find. There we go. Oh, it was right here. It was just a pure color. That's why I didn't have anything else on there. So you go to this. There we go. And I'll double click. We'll turn on metalness. We'll turn on roughness. Roughness down. Metalness up.
There you
Now
go.
with that metalness, though, it's not glowing.
Randy says
go
you
full white.
missed the little screw at the top of the light where the cord comes in. I think we're all trying to see you do some threads, some screw threads.
Did Bill tell you to say that, Randy?
No. Yeah, true. Are you guys in cahoots?
All right, so I'm gonna line this up. I'm gonna see how this looks anyhow. I don't know. This might be a non thing. I'm gonna try to put this. Ugh. All right, so here's a learning thing. When the geometry of the thing you want to put gets in the way of the spot you want to put it to, that's a great time to tap X and get on X-ray. Now I can go back here, put that to the middle, drop it down. Yeah, it's all right. It's not what I don't love it, but it's not. It'll work, I think.
Yeah, not quite the shining beacon of light we were looking
Right.
for, but it'll do. It'll work.
That's right. Make that a component. And the screw. Yeah, right here, there's a teeny little set screw, which I will be modeling not as a screw. Just being honest with you guys. I'm not doing a screw. All right, so I'm just going to go in here. I want to make a circle. I'm going to put it right here. Pull that out to about exactly there. Pull that into the geometry. We'll pull that out of the geometry. And then we'll come in here and grab a polygon. Put a polygon right in the middle of the circle. That. And we'll push that in. We'll grab all that. I'll actually come in here, grab this face, say intersect face with model. And then we can just get rid of this back half right here. And that'll just sit right on top of that.
Nice.
All right, now I can grab this, and I need to figure out how to best do this. If I grab this edge right here, and I come up to this cable, because I made this bigger, it's not going to exactly line up. So I'm going to line it up on one of these. So I'm going to come grab this edge, go horizontally till something got weird. I pulled something off axis pretty bad here. I don't know what's. So I'm just going to get this approximately where I want it.
Yep. There you go.
There we go. Now what I can do is I can say I want to move it. I'm going to use this end right here, but I'm going to hit my stamp button. Now I can grab this and I can just come along here to the end of each cable, line it up till kind of there's that point. Go to the next one. There's that point.
Very nice. Wow, this is looking great.
Yeah, I was not sure how this is going to turn out.
Are you going to attempt the wire going through the chain?
I did not make this last long enough, did I?
We should have spent more time on the chain links.
All right, so this is real. I mean, okay, let's just pause and celebrate just how cool this turned out for a second, all right? Oh, man.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
All right. So yes, if I was going to do that, processing, what I would probably do,
create a giant plane and then draw on it.
Yeah, I would probably go, let's go the middle right here like this. Take that straight up. All right, so that gives me that. And now, as Justin asked about earlier, we come in here with freehand. We'll start down here somewhere. And come up like this, go thread through there.
Yeah, look at that.
What?
Oh, okay. Let's back up a second.
We got...
I'm curious what would happen if you followed me on that, you know? It would just be interesting.
I'm going to save. Here, let me try let's see if I turn on X-ray and try that again. What was happening is it was inferencing off of the geometry I was trying to glide over. Actually, hold up. I got to come in here and I got to get rid of this edge. There we go. Extra edges. We don't need those. So it was grabbing onto that geometry that was between the plane and the camera, was hitting that, and then for whatever reason shooting off. So let's see if I can try that again in X-ray. Let's see if it turns out a little bit better this time. So I'm gonna start right about here. Kind of come up like this. Oh yeah, that's way better. All right, I'm gonna do a better job than that. That was an experiment. All right, so we're gonna start right about here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little ways away because remember we were talking about having a circle that is perpendicular to the first edge? I want to make sure my first edge, actually I could draw my first edge first. Let's do that. Let's go just a regular line segment. We'll come underneath here and we'll just come straight across like this. Oops. So I'm going to start here, come across like that. And then I'll pick up my freehand line from the end there. That way when I put my circle here, it's going to follow it and it won't be caught on it. It won't get distorted. So I'm going to turn X-ray back on. I have to do this in a couple different goes, a couple passes. So I'm going to come like this and thread through here. Zoom out a little bit. Come up. Thread through here. Thread through here. Triple click to grab all of that. Make it a group first. Right, we'll get rid of this. We don't need this plane anymore. Well, this is turning out way easier than oh, shut up. All right.
Don't I'm really curious how this cable is going to turn out. I feel like there's a lot of rough edges.
Yeah. So, well, that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look at some of these edges. So I don't want to mess with this, so I'm just going to grab an edge here like this, come down to here, and get rid of these pieces. All right, we'll kind of follow it along. Little bumps, okay, that's dumb. I don't want that. Get rid of that. Maybe I just made another dumb thing. There we go.
Is there a way to smooth outlines like this?
There are extensions that will do that. I don't know what the native... I don't know that the native can do anything like that, though. All right, so I'm just going to manually smooth that out a little bit. All right, now I'm going to triple click all of this. And we're going to make it a group. No, not make it a group. Weld the edges. Now, once again, I need the circle that is the bottom of this. Come in here. B. All right, let's get that up right. Boom. Weld edges. Ah, I moved my mouse too far. I was running into other stuff on my desk there. Sorry. Where's the end of this line? That doesn't matter. I don't need it at the end. All right. Now, let's grab this. Let's hit follow me and just see what happens.
Yeah, just stand back.
Woo!
Okay.
It took a second.
Yeah.
So yes, Randy, I can do that.
Take that, Bill. No, just kidding.
No, all in good fun, you guys. Yeah, that was cool. I was skeptical that the guy could do that. I think we're gonna launch into the weekend a little early today.
Yeah. No, we did it.
I mean, you guys, I was not 100% sure how that was gonna end up. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't skeptical. I just didn't know. I'm gonna put that all into a group together. And based on 2D Aaron over here, I think it's a little large, so I'm gonna scale that.
It looks nice. I want that hanging in my house.
Yeah. I think that turned out all right. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch anymore. Anything else I do will detract. Here, let's actually. One thing I do want to do. He says as he does more stuff to it. No, I'm not gonna do more stuff. I'm just gonna play with some styles real quick. Let's get rid of edges and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
You might also be able to pick a different environment that would, like, cast a warmer light on the whole thing.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
Those bulbs would shine a little bit.
Go to our environments. Let's find a nice warmer setup.
Oh.
It's funny because the environment hits the image too. So as I flip through here, my image is going to change too. But
that looks nice. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and hide it.
Those bulbs are glowing.
They are. So's 2D Aaron. Look at that. He's got some color. Woo. Oh, you guys.
Yeah. Bill asks, are your ceilings 60 inches high in the US? It does look like you're going to weave your head in and out of those light bulbs.
Well, I'll tell you, if my chandelier is made out of a 6x12, I probably am putting into a room with a decent head height. Yeah.
Yeah. Ty says, quick, model a dining room to install that fixture. Yeah, let's build a house around it.
That's a great idea. We'll put this on 3D Warehouse and and let you guys download it and build whatever house around it you want. Oh, that turned out cool. I like that. That was a good call. Thank you, Justin. Was that a customer or a viewer comment that you found the image for?
You mean switching the environment?
No,
the source image. No, that was all me. But that is a good reminder, everybody. If you ever have a good idea for something that you'd like to see, maybe a set of techniques that you'd like to see us go through or struggle through, the forum is a fantastic place to drop those ideas.
Yes,
and we always announce these live streams on the forum, usually earlier in the week, and we have a thread on the forums for each of these streams. And there's a comment section where you can drop images, that inspire you, that you'd maybe like to see, And that's a great place to kind of chime in with, a couple ideas.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I always say in the videos, we like making this content, we like doing this stuff, but it means a lot more when we know it's what you guys want. So tell us as often as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. This was a good one. I liked this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, hey, that note, it's 1:30 here, so we have plenty of afternoon left. Let's not belabor this. Let's not beat this. Let's call it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we are also missing our outro, the video file for the outro. So, as much as we would like to avoid this, it will be an abrupt ending. So, just want to give everybody a chance to say goodbye to each other. And thanks for tuning in. I feel like this was a great stream. We got to watch Aaron go down multiple different wormholes. And I mean, look at that. It looks amazing.
It came together.
It really did.
Yeah. A lot of fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to do this again next weekend. We have a thing that we're going to model. I don't remember what it is. But we'll be back here next Friday, right here at noon Mountain Time, hanging out. So come join us. And maybe, I don't want to promise anything, but we may have the intro and outro worked out by then. Justin was telling, we kind of realized that it wasn't there last time. But by the time we're done with the stream, it's Friday afternoon, and we're digging into it really. And then we took last week off, and then about 11:45, Justin goes, "Wasn't there an issue with something last stream?"
Yeah.
So maybe next week. No promises.
Maybe no promises, but we'll try. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We hope that you have a fantastic weekend, and looking forward to seeing you guys on the next stream.
All right. Thank you all.
See you guys.